so early. You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Guten Morgen, mein Freunds and Freundins. It's another fucking Monday. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning to watch the launch of the Artemis 1, and of course, it's scrubbed. It's scrubbed. I was expecting it. I think a lot of people were because of the weather problems they were having, but it ended up not being the weather that caused them to scrub it. What ended up happening is they couldn't get the third booster engine to reach the temperature they needed. They were trying to cool them down. And even with, all the things they were trying, they couldn't get it down. And there, a million things can go wrong. You only need one thing, to go right for a launch, but a million things can go wrong to scrub a launch. So really, it's no big surprise. September 2nd, I guess, is the next window. So I'll be setting my alarm so I can watch that. Hope you guys have been watching it too and are up on it. Let's check over in the chat. I want to say good morning to everybody. Good morning, Marshall. Good morning, Aaron. How are you today? Good morning, Anima. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. D-Bud Martin. D-Bud Martin, good morning, man. Yeah, you knew it too. Yep, I'm reading it now. It's just sort of, that's one of the things you deal with these things. I'm just super excited because this is our first trip back to the moon since 1972. Official. Because we don't know what they've done unofficially, the military. And of course, Air Force is Space Force. Yeah. Well, that
Gerry, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this going to be a bad mark for NASA, like a black mark,
no.
or is this just another setback?
No. They look. We've had too many accidents, and this isn't even a manned flight. So
Correct.
They're showing caution when they should. Because there's billions of dollars worth of technology being sent to the moon, and they need to make sure it gets there. Because for the manned flights to happen, we need this. Well, this one, and I think they're going to have another one sending up more supplies. So they're able to establish a permanent moon station. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. Bummed a little bit, but you know what? It's no big surprise. It's really no big surprise. Dr. Dragon, good morning, my friend. Socks, hey, buddy. Who else has jumped in? Jacob. Now, I ran into Jacob this weekend. Lauren and I went into Springfield and had to drop off the other modem. It was the wrong modem. It was a cable modem, not an internet DSL modem. So we stopped at the South Walmart in Springfield, and I walked in and I immediately locked up. Well, he didn't see me, but I saw him. I saw Jacob. I'm like, I know that guy. And so I just casually start walking back into the self-checkout area the wrong way. I went in the wrong way because that's me. I'm a backdoor Gerry. And finally he turns and sees me, and I'm like looking right at him. I had this look on my face. I was like, yeah, you know me. And he went, "Oh, Gerry!" And he came over and we talked for a little bit. Yeah, it was good seeing you too, Jacob. I'm so glad to be back in Springfield. Sort of. Oh yeah, Brandon. Me love you long time too. There's a lot of stupidity out there. I got to tell you. Wolverine. All right, 626. How you doing, buddy? Did you see the news of the Apple Plus? Yes, people were trying to extort money from the production, and they're like, "Fuck this noise, we're out of here." Which, of course, they'll still see what a great place Baltimore is, but I got to be honest, man. Since the lunatics took over the asylum, that place has been a shithole for a long time. And I love Baltimore. I love Baltimore. I was in Fredericksburg. I grew up in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And we spent a lot of time either in DC or in Baltimore growing up. And I just hate seeing what they've done to that fucking place. Good morning, War Monkey. How you doing, man? I don't know if some of you saw what I said over on Twitter. I saw the casting news for the Fantastic Four. And my reaction was not pleasant. And every day I become more and more disenfranchised with these franchises. And I'm sick to death of fucking Kevin Feige. I'm done with his bullshit. I'm done with Bob Chapek. And I just don't give two shits what they fucking do now. Marvel can go fuck itself. I will watch pockets of what they've got to offer, but overall, until Kevin Feige, Bob Chapek, and Victoria Alonso is gone, they can all go suck a dick. I think my exact words. Let me find my exact words. Let's see. Yes, at the announcement, Fat Steven Seagal posted it. And I said, I am only speaking for myself, but in all sincerity, I can hardly wait to never watch this fucking movie. Fuck you, Kevin Feige, and the horse you rode in on, a.k.a. Victoria Alonso. I'm done supporting your terrible virtue signaling ideas. And you can go choke on a bag of dicks, Bob Chapek. That was my post today. Fuck them. Morning, Chris. How you doing, buddy? I know you're probably busy working on your film. Good morning, Penny. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. It's been a few days since I've seen my last Bigfoot sighting. I mean, Danny sighting. Hopefully I'll see him soon. Let's see. I'm still going on what Mikey Sutton said, who will play Reed Richards. Mikey says John Kay, and until that changes, I'm still on board. I got to tell you, man, I still believe him too. But that shit fucking pissed me off this morning. And I still don't like Kevin Feige anymore. I really don't. He's, a lot of the blame has gone off onto Victoria Alonso. But when you really sit down and look at some of the shit that he's done, that wasn't Victoria Alonso. She's a person who pushes him. But he's making the final decision. And the virtue signaling in Marvel since Phase 4 has been just absolute fucking garbage. I mean, since Stage 3. Phase 4 itself has been just fucking crap. It was a crapshoot. He knows it. And if he does not fucking cast this film correctly, a lot of people are going to be fucking done with Marvel. Look, there is hope that Phase 5 will fix Phase 4, but I have no faith in Feige at this point. And I definitely have no faith in Bob Chapek. He only fires people when it's convenient. The Wire's creator sold something about Apple series, or said something about the Apple series on Twitter, even though it's not his show. All I got out was it's Baltimore. It was, of course, Baltimore's great. We get driven out of town because the police can't stop this shit because of the anti-cop element of the government there. But Baltimore's great. It was great once. Baltimore was once a great city. I knew it for myself. I've been there. Good morning, Lindsay, the cynical geek. More monkey. Reading the title now and discussing Artemis 1 launch and remembering a chat I was reading last week about all the other times it was scrubbed and pushed back, and then it's just happened again. Duh. Look, man. Again, I'm not going to throw shade at NASA for this. I would prefer them to scrub missions than to have accidents. And when you cannot get your third booster engine to cool down to the proper degrees it's supposed to be at before launch, pre-launch, you fucking scrub that mission. Now, does that mean somebody should be fired for not doing their fucking job? It sounds like somebody screwed up somewhere. That's what it sounds like to me. But it could also be something as much as a line freezing. And if the coolants aren't able to get where they need to go, you're not going to be able to cool that engine down. So it's, once again, it's like somebody should get fired. Oh, am I roboting? Yeah, thanks, Keith. So I don't. Have I stopped roboting, or am I still roboting?
A little bit, but it's manageable.
You're good.
Right.
You're good.
All right. I remember lots of scrubs in the Apollo program. It's not uncommon. No, it's not uncommon. It is absolutely common and should absolutely be the direction to go if there's any fucking question, because the loss of life we've had is monumental with NASA. It was tragic. And in the end, if people had been more cautious, it wouldn't have happened. So you should always have some trepidation before a launch. Absolutely, technology can fail. Yeah, motherfucker, I'm black now, Wolverine. You better fucking know it. Yeah. As 24/7 would say, yeah, man, that shit's cool. Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
So Keith won't be here today, most likely. I sent him an invite, but God damn it. He probably won't make it because they're doing work on his house this week. It's coming up on the fall months, and he's got to get his roof fixed. So he's dealing with that shit today, and he's got to stay there. And his wife has the car, so he because we discussed possibly shooting in the car, doing the show from the car, but he can't do that because the car is gone. But hey, I did want to talk about this. I watched The Samaritan this weekend, and I gotta tell you, I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. I really did. I like to see Bezos scared with his tail tucked between his legs, making, or I should say, buying and releasing, as well as producing male-oriented, masculine-oriented action films and stuff. Even though this film is, I would almost say this was a family film, because it deals with family. I mean, that's the entire theme of the whole fucking film. But, his relationship with his kid, I loved it. I enjoyed the kid. I enjoyed, there was one moment where I'm like, okay, nobody would fucking do that. Right near the beginning of the film. It's in the first act. And, but past that, I thoroughly enjoyed everything they did in that film. I love the effects in it. I knew, but then again, as a writer, I recognize when a writer's doing something. And like when I watched the movie, oh my gosh, Bruce Willis, Sixth Sense. When he couldn't open the basement door, I leaned over to my boss and friend, Craig, and said, he's dead. He's already dead. He's a ghost. That's why they're not talking. That's why you can't get in that door, because it's either locked or blocked. And he's like, no way. That's not going to happen. You know, that was the end of the fucking movie. He's like, God damn. And I'm like, yeah, I know how writers think. I knew what was going to happen at the end. I knew what the turn was going to be. There's always that turn. And I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. I fucking liked it. And I would like to see a sequel to this film. And what's interesting is I want to go back and read the comic now, the graphic novel. But I can't find it anywhere. I looked on Comixology. I couldn't find it there. If anybody knows where I can get a digital copy of it, I don't want to buy the book and hold it because I'm in that part of my life where owning stuff is problematic. So, but digital would be great. I would love to find a digital copy of that book. To be a theatrical release, but then Amazon bought MGM. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. My God, Wolverine. Really? I had no idea. Are you fucking kidding me? Amazon bought MGM? I know, buddy. I know. I'm just teasing you. It was all part of the process. That's why, Keith and I were telling people, now that they own James Bond, Henry Cavill's out. Amazon's not going to want Henry Cavill. Oh, look who's here. Keith is actually here.
Hey.
We're all Muppets today. Are
Hey,
the construction teams there yet, or what's going on?
Actually, that was the thing. They left a message and said that they weren't going to be here today. They had something come up, so they're definitely going to be here.
Oh,
tomorrow.
they pulled a NASA and scrubbed the mission.
Yes. So I have a reprieve for the day.
The main bad guy from Samaritan was the actor who played Beto in Ghost in the Shell movie. Yeah, I knew he looked familiar. I kept going, where do I know that guy from? That's it.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, I enjoyed the film. I liked the villain. I thought Samaritan was a solid film. If you've not seen the film, I will do my best not to spoil anything. I just am telling you that it was enjoyable. I love the action scenes. I love that scene when he saves that girl from that grenade and leaps over the car and pulls the car and uses it as a shield against the grenade. I'm like, that's fucking cool. It was well shot, well-constructed action scenes. The effects were really good. I like the comic book effect that they did to the fight on the roof in the opening titles. I just really enjoyed that fucking movie.
Cool.
And I thought Stallone was doing a tremendously good job. Oh, that's not me. That's somebody else's phone.
You know
go
what,
ahead.
though? Stallone has been exposed to a lot of really good directors who have more of a positive influence and outlook on comic books than a lot of other people like Stallone and his generation.
Yeah.
So, especially being exposed and having worked with James Gunn twice now, I think what we're seeing is, Stallone having a different approach to how he wants to look at that. So
that's an interesting point, but as long as, because in the opposite of what James Gunn would do, he's not mocking the superhero genre.
Oh, yeah.
Which is something that James Gunn does. I enjoy it to a certain degree, but I don't, Mikey and I have talked about this ad nauseum, and I find it so funny that as nice as he is, Mikey Sutton, I find he agrees with me on a lot of fucking shit, which is why you'll see him tag me when something needs to be said sarcastically about something. And one example of that, he tagged me. Hold on, let me pull this up. It was so fucking funny when he sent this and tagged me, and Keith saw it too. It's in our private chat. he says, Gerry, take a look at this. And he just tagged me, nobody else, not Andre, not Tommy, because I'm the sarcastic prick amongst all of us. And he knew it. Like, fuck, man, this is so fucking ridiculous. Let me go and share it real quick. I was just, what the fuck were they thinking when they did this shit? You know, DC under fire for controversial Hispanic Heritage Month variant celebrating stereotypical food. Just like, what the fuck? You know, because this was the original piece of artwork here. Let me show you. And then, do you have a copy of how they changed it? Because that's what it was supposed to look like. That was the original artwork created by Jorge Molina.
Yeah, if you go further down to that article that you came out of to get this, they show the new version of it.
Oh, there it is. Fuck. Look what they did to this shit. Fucking clearly a Taco Bell bag with tamales coming out. Viva Mexico. They changed that flag to that. To change his artwork, because his artwork was finished. Mm-hmm. That's final artwork. When it gets approved, it's final artwork. He turned it in. And then they went without telling him and changed his fucking artwork. But left his fucking name on there.
This is what you get.
This is tacky.
This is what you get from a lot of the people that have come into the business over the last 5 to 7 years that, in my opinion, are people that never would have made it to where they are in such a short amount of time had the previous people at Warner Brothers not been such a-holes and pretty much just strip mine that entire company as far as money and talent. So,
well, the good news is that David Zaslav has started the audit on DC Comics. What I'm telling you, people are going to get fucking fired from DC. Once this audit is finished, he is going to do to DC what he did to CNN and then to Warner Brothers. If you don't think that's going to happen, you don't live in reality. He is fucking done with this shit.
Yep.
He was also told, privately warned by team members at DC who are not woke, going, you want to fix this, you need to stop the woke shit. And this leaked out that somebody said that to him. And I'm fucking excited about that shit. Good morning, Stephanie Beatty. Oh, Latino Slant. I love you, buddy. Polly.
Hey,
Polly. Good morning, man.
But here we are, and we're looking at the audit is going down, and it's so insulting what they did, you know, and how they don't even understand that's insulting.
See, and that's the thing. You have an entire company filled with woke people, and that's what they do. I mean, that is amazing to me. And it's just, look, you lost. Okay?
Yeah, I got to tell you, you know, it's so disrespectful to the Latino culture to do that. And I've already heard from members of my family who read comics, the Latino side of my family, and they're fucking pissed about this. You know, what's that word that you like to call me or say to me there, Martin? Pinche
gringo.
Pinche gringo. That's what they said about DC.
Man.
And
I wouldn't get.
There's another one I can't pronounce about, like, basically suck my balls or suck my.
I wouldn't get too excited.
That was my brother-in-law said that. You know, DC Comics can, and he said in Spanish, suck my dick. And I forget how to say that. Do you remember? Do you remember how to say that in Spanish, Martin?
Oh, well, there are many ways to say it. If it's a specific saying, I wouldn't know which one is.
You know what? Here's the thing. No, I wouldn't get too excited or laugh too hard if you're a Marvel fan.
Read this.
It's going to take a lot longer for Marvel to make any changes.
Polly, can I show those shorts on the show? Can I have them played here today? I want to play them. make sure it's okay with you before I do it.
Well, Brandon, it's not just DC. In fact, it's actually worse over at Marvel. But because of the way that Marvel is structured, and get this, a lot of you guys got to remember, a lot of you Marvel fans need to remember, everything Marvel now runs through Kevin Feige. Okay, Kevin Feige has all of it under him. So that Snowflake and Safe Space and all that other stuff they've done, that's all under Feige. Okay, you can't easily change that because of the structure of what Disney is. Mm-hmm. It is only because David Zaslav doesn't have to answer to anyone to make changes in any part of what.
Yeah, I love all the hate he's getting, and they act like it's a lot of hate. Hold on, let me.
So,
Marvel, because there's a lot of people trying to get him canceled and get him fired, and that's never gonna fucking happen. It's so fucking funny. It's like, you don't understand. He's a pit bull that AT&T said, let him loose, release the Kraken. He is the Kraken.
He's the Kraken. That's it. Thank you. Yes, David Zaslav is the Kraken. And
I'm not dumb. I know things.
This has been going on too long. I mean, too long. And AT&T, for all of you who think AT&T are out of the picture, they're not. They're running.
Oh, no. They stepped back.
Yeah.
They're not out of the picture. They just stepped back because they let the dogs loose. Who let the dogs out? AT&T. That's who let them out.
Because they were just sick and tired of basically, getting glad-handed or lied to straight up by the people running Warner Brothers. And again, DC, the fact that DC is where it is right now is because of people like Ann Sarnoff and Toby Emmerich, who kept redirecting a lot of the stuff that AT&T was trying to do to fix Warner in general. And so all of those cuts that should have happened in other areas of Warner Brothers were being mainly focused in the areas that they didn't care about. Let me repeat that. Those cuts were being redirected to the areas that Ann Sarnoff and Toby Emmerich did not care about. There is nobody in Hollywood that has been working in Hollywood that actually enjoys comics. So all of the cuts, that's the reason why you kept seeing cuts over the last 3 to 5 years going on at DC. You thought it was actually someone that cared about DC Comics?
Right. Yeah, that's a thing. Whatever. Here we go. This is his Blue Beetle video. Let's play this real quick.
The cringe don't stop. DC Comics for their Hispanic Heritage Month, not the Blue Beetle, but the Blue Burrito. Blue Burrito.
That was great.
I get what you're saying, Socks, but it is pretty bad because Marvel still made other things, like what they did to the X-Men. I mean, yeah, okay, so they didn't release the new Warriors. They still released all that crazy X-Men stuff. That right there, what they did to the X-Men, should be enough to get you banned from comics for life.
Yep, I got more. It's the other video. I want to play that real quick.
DC Comics for Hispanic Heritage Month got illustrator Jorge Molina to create this image. Pretty cool. Got the Aztec, you got the Mexican eagle behind it. But there was a change, and they did it without Jorge's
Quetzalcoatl
contribution at all. And here it is. Green Lantern is now selling green tamales, not red ones. For Hispanic Heritage Month, what a joke. Apparently without the illustrator's permission, they just changed it. Viva Mexico. I am about to blow up this whole month of September and just straight up boycott it, man. This is just, I'm furious. Not cool.
There you go, guys.
And Socks, you're right. What they did with those characters, but also understand this: all that with X-Men happened in the shadow of after they had already screwed up Captain America.
Morning, Wade.
So I mean, Marvel and DC have problems. The difference is that now, because of Zaslav, I think they're going to be able to turn around DC much quicker than Marvel. So if you're a Marvel fan, if you're not mad, you should be.
Yeah.
Because there's no real relief for you yet. I'm serious. Where do you think comics rank within the hierarchy of a lot of these corporate entertainment companies? It's not at the top. It's at the very, very bottom. So
and I'm going to go back. I'm going to talk about something because history likes to repeat itself. And I brought up the onset of blaxploitation films when they first started, with the studios exploiting the black community by making films directed at them in order to make money. It was all about making money. It had nothing to do about black culture. It had to do about making money off of black culture. But once the black culture got into it, it became better. And that's when we started getting some really fucking awesome movies, including out of Warner Brothers. So what we've got now is a comic industry full of woke people who are exploiting and using cultures in order to make it look like, well, that's virtue signaling. We care, but they don't care. What they care about is selling ideas, and it really has nothing about supporting that culture. It isn't. And proof in point is this fucking Latino covers for DC. They've got to clean house. They got to clean that house. They got to do it with Marvel. They got to do it with everybody. Paramount's probably going to be the last one, even though we just heard. And what is his name? I forget his name, Keith, the guy that's in charge over there that threatened the audit.
Yeah, that was
on Kurtzman.
Former actor. Oh man, Paramount had Brian Robbins.
Brian Robbins. Yeah, Kurtzman tried to fucking threaten to fuck up season 3 of Picard to make it woke.
Yeah,
pull the Kurtzman on it. And they called his bluff and says, fine, we'll do an audit. You do that, we'll fucking audit everything you've worked on.
And it wasn't, and that audit isn't just with Kurtzman. They're going all the way back to the beginning of the relationship with
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
So to the first Star Trek movie he did.
So what you're in, everything that we already know will be exposed, to the company. The company heads will have proof of everything we're already aware of. But the funny part of this is that in the end, they could sue him and J.J. Abrams, take them to court, and they would owe money to the studio. That's one thing that can come from these audits. A lot of people don't realize that, but yeah. So when you hear audit threats, that sends shivers up executive producers' fucking asses and spines.
And the other part of that has to do with the more recent video that Valiant Renegade had out with Jeff from World Class BSers. And I want to say this: if you haven't had a chance to watch that, wait till after our show.
Just so you know, hold on, it's over merchandising is what Keith is talking about.
Look, out of everything, the one thing I gotta say that I learned since really getting into how Hollywood works is that merchandising for major IP is really important, because it'll keep your IP alive even when there's no quote unquote new product. Okay. Merchandising kept Star Trek alive during the 10 years between the final episode of the series and the first movie that they had. Okay.
Yeah, because Mego made the first Star Trek action figures, and AMT. Yeah, it was AMT, then later Ertl. AMT made the first Star Trek model kits, and it made them a fortune.
Yeah, and all these years,
and models.
a majority of what Star Trek is mainly just a lot of merchandising sales. Okay. Well, now JJ comes along, tries to pull a fast one and trying to get them to stop selling Star Trek merchandise that contradicted or went against what he was doing. And the merchandise that they had for that 2009 film, no matter how much you may have enjoyed the movie, that merchandising was bad, dude. I mean, if you Google Star Trek 2009 toys, that stuff looks awful. I mean, it just looks bad. And so there's been damage done to the amount of profit that they were basically guaranteed to make off this stuff. And since getting involved with J.J. Abrams and having that relationship evolve into what they now have with Alex Kurtzman, merchandising has not been selling very well.
No, and you can see it when you go to our Walmarts in Springfield had an entire fucking single, because the way the shelving works there, those aisles, each one is an individual shelf going down that aisle. Star Trek and Star Wars in particular, had its own aisle, an entire aisle of toys and merchandise. Mm-hmm. And it is now down to a 2-row or 2-column section. That's it. That's all you're getting in Walmart now for Star Wars.
Yep.
And you're seeing a lot of stuff in the bargain basement. A lot of toys that was released by Disney this year already in clearance.
Or in the case
Encanto to other stuff.
Or in the case of stuff like the Turtles, how that stuff ended up in the bargain bin before the movie.
I never even saw anything from it in the toy store, in the toy section. Never. I never saw anything. The local store didn't have it.
Merchandising drives everything. Okay. And again, I've been saying it, Gerry will attest to this. I've been saying this since we started doing this show. What is the first rule my dad ever taught me about business?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Well, no, that was rule 2. First rule was don't mess with the money. Don't ever
mess with the money. Yeah, and that's why, when JJ was telling them, I need you to stop selling classic Star Trek toys, they were like, fuck you? Not before you prove that your shit sells. Fuck you. JJ's such an asshole. He doesn't even understand how that works. To have asked them to do that proves he doesn't understand how merchandising works.
It's unreal. But and then it explains why when Discovery was getting ready to come out, how you had all of these toy companies that turned their back on Star Trek. I'd heard about that. I still.
First of all, Sox, George wasn't ahead of his time on that.
He just
20th Century Fox fucking got burned because of the Planet of the Apes.
There you go.
Said there's no point in merchandising for us.
And
so
George,
they're like, just let him have it. And George was like, okay.
Yeah,
he didn't know how it was going to do.
Yeah,
he didn't know how it was going to do either.
He had run out of money from his last success.
I mean, he didn't even fucking know his film was going to sell.
That's right.
He was in Hawaii with Spielberg when the movie premiered, expecting it to flop.
Yes.
And immediately when they got word, Spielberg's like, see how it does second weekend. That's going to be the one that tells us. And then, of course, it sold. And then they immediately were sitting on a beach talking about fucking Indiana Jones.
Yep.
That's how it happened. That's a true story. J.J. Abrams is a fucking idiot. I think he's a complete buffoon.
He's a hell of a salesman.
He's been very lucky. He's shown talent in the past, but when it comes down to it, he keeps trying to be the next George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. But the problem is it's hollow. He can copy the look and he can copy the feel, but he doesn't know how to create the emotional connection. Mm-hmm. Super 8 is a prime example. When you sit down and you really break down what happens in that third act, you're like, this guy does not know how to tell a fucking story. Which is why Super 8's not that memorable and great and classic of a film. You look at Steven Spielberg's films, his early films, which one wasn't a classic? Which one? Which one isn't a classic that people still talk about to today? Nobody talks about Super 8. For a reason. JJ is really good at replicating, copying, but it has no soul or heart. He
kind of like Michael Bay.
Yeah. Well, Michael Bay did one film, in my opinion. Only one film that he did right. And it's a good film. And it's 13 hours. It's a powerful film.
Yeah, that's well outside of what he was known for. And
yeah.
He didn't, he tries to replicate being James Cameron, but the difference is that James Cameron is kind of a visionary.
James Cameron's not even James Cameron. He's stolen so much stuff. Now, I'm not going to say he stole Terminator because he said that was based on a dream, and that it's just like that story. What was that? The Demon Hand or whatever it was. That oh God, I just forgot his name. Crazy motherfucker wrote Star Trek. One episode of Star Trek and then wanted to kill Dr. McCoy.
Oh, that was
not Piers Anthony. I forget his name.
Harlan Ellison.
Harlequin Anderson.
What? Don't butcher his name. Come on. He's an Ohio guy. Come on.
Harlequin Anderson.
and you know what? I love Harlan because if he was still around, he'd be
I'm gonna make a character called that, and he's gonna be a sci-fi writer who's an asshole. But
oh God.
In all reality, Harlan Ellison is like one of my favorite sci-fi writers, but the guy was a fucking asshole and a lunatic. But you can't be that fucking you cannot be that fucking smart and talented and not be a little off your fucking kilter.
Good point.
He was one bean short of a burrito, man. I'm going to take one of the Holy Trinity, Dr. McCoy, and I want to kill him. Season 1.
Stone Pie. Okay. I see you, Stone Pie. Good answer.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Stone did ask you a question a minute ago that I forgot about and I wanted to come back to, which is, was it a threat or are they going to do the audit at Paramount? And I hope they do the audit. They need to.
Yeah. They want to do that. They really, and I think looking at everything, how could you not? Why did it take so long for even CBS to go, well, maybe we should look into this? George Cheeks. I still laugh about his name, but I get to because you're the one that signed off on Alex Kurtzman having a re-up deal and continue to make more of this. We could have had this stopped over a year ago, dude.
Actually, Anima, there's something going on. It was nationally, and now it seems to be affecting people. And I expect to see news come out that hackers were behind this. That they're having major internet issues in the United States, and now reports are coming from overseas too. So it's like something's going on. Sunspots. No,
it's Skynet.
Wow.
We get warnings before sunspot. Before we get a massive blast from the sun, we'll have that warning telling us way before it happens. Sometimes it's hard to listen to people. My modem is dead. Must be the weather. Don't see how cable could fix this. Marshall, of course, is over there in Croatia, so he knows the questions to ask. He lives in the wings of the dragon. She lives in the crotch.
Wow.
She does. Wolverine. She's the one who told me.
Wolverine, thank you for that. I think this will be interesting.
Shit. Fuck yeah. It's going to be rough, him losing his Irish accent, even though he never does. He talks funny when he does his American accent. So I hope they actually just fucking say, oh, Philip Marlowe is Irish, so we'll make him. Actually, Marlowe is English. We'll just make him Irish and let him have his Irish accent.
There you go. I have the complete cast list for this movie. This looks incredible.
Who's in it?
Okay, we have Liam Neeson, Diane Kruger, Jessica Lange, Alan Cumming, Danny Houston, Colm Meaney.
Is Alan Cumming?
That's between you and him. Patrick Muldoon. Wow.
I like Patrick Muldoon. Good actor.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, it's just, look, man, how it's like that joke from MST 3000 when they're watching that movie, The Cave Dwellers, and they see the guy's name pop up, and they said, "How much O'Keefe is in this movie?" Miles O'Keefe.
But
Alan Cumming? I don't know. Is he?
Here it is.
Doing that. What are you doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. Let's make that large. Right there. Boom. That's a good cast right there.
That is a solid cast. They've already sold me a ticket.
What story is it?
Let's see. It's based on the 2014 novel The Black-Eyed Blonde. Oh, it's
a newer one, not by huh. I don't know if that's any good. I'm gonna have to find it. Have to find it.
I still like this cast, and if they can deliver, then I'm cool with it. Wow. Okay, I'm down. I'm down for this one. This is going to be a party. Huh. Everything all right? Everybody all good? Let's see.
I think I'm about to get kicked.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I can take over. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Brandon. That is one hell of an ensemble cast.
When watching Star Trek Next Generation, I always wondered how much Brian is in it, and it's Miles O'Brien. There, you got the joke you wanted there. You got it. Man. You were asking for it. You got it there. You're welcome, Brandon. Geez. You're welcome, War Monkey. D23. When is that? I forget. You stay up on these things, Keith.
D23, otherwise known as the celebration of all things Disney. This year's D23 will be September 9th through the 10th.
So it's not far.
It's not far away at all. In fact, we might be able to do a show or two on it. They're definitely going to try to get all this information out, and they're going to try to wow everybody. This will be all the stuff that they avoided talking about at San Diego so that they could do it in front of their crowd. And remember, they know how to keep security and secrets for D23 because they don't allow you access to your phone. Oh, you can keep it. You just won't have access to it. So you're not going to be seeing any random pictures or videos or whatever. You will not have that with D23. Anything that gets put out there means that they meant for it to be out there.
Yeah, and Neil Jordan is in charge of this, which is really interesting. I like with Marlowe. I really do like him as a director. Somebody said that he didn't know anything about horror a few years back because he was involved with something. I said, "What are you fucking talking about?" One of his first movies was a horror film. He wrote it and directed it. It's called In the Company of Wolves. Not to mention the horror comedy, High Spirits was his next film.
Interview with Vampire is also another one of his. Look, Socks, I look at it this way. We are bit by bit with everything that goes on at Warner Brothers Discovery now, since Zaslav has gotten there. We know that there were a lot of things happening at Warner Brothers originally that was not very good business-wise. To say that this push to cut $3 billion is damaging, I wouldn't think of it that way. I would think of it as trying to repair a lot of the damage from behind the scenes because they're bleeding money. Remember, before Zaslav got there, you had two areas of the company that were doing the exact same thing, meaning that you had a duplicate position.
You had two versions of Warner Media.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
You had HBO app, but you also had HBO Max, and they're both the same. The exact same.
And this reminds me of that classic joke, Keith. Welcome to the Department of Redundancy Department.
Mm-hmm. They did that. And I think this is part of what AT&T was trying to avoid and trying to do their own audits and cuts. And they got the runaround from Warner Brothers, from Toby and everyone else underneath him. So they all had to go. So to me, I can understand it being a little uncomfortable, but guess what? This company was already bad. What we are hearing bit by bit is all the stuff that was true before Zaslav got there. None of this would work long term with this company. So anybody that says, well, Zaslav's the one doing damage doesn't know what they're talking about. I mean, seriously. You have to make decisions when you are running a company. And remember, this is a corporate organization. Okay? They have to make money. You have shareholders. Okay? Warner Brothers has been running behind. And if this is even, I guarantee you, this is probably only a fourth of what's gone on over the last 10 to 12 years. And it would explain a lot of really stupid stuff.
Well, let's get into the positive, though.
Yes.
Because we do have stuff to look for. D23, is okay. What I'm looking forward to is Fandom, which we're all expecting to take place because there is no schedule that I'm aware of yet. Yeah. But last year it took place in October. The previous year was in August. This year, I'm assuming they're probably going to stick to the October schedule. And that's when we're going to see stuff. That Deadline had a premature ejaculation on with Henry Cavill.
What?
It's like they shot their load like on the floor in front of the girl is what Deadline did. And Sil Abdul and I fell for their bullshit, and we learned our lesson. Won't do that again. Deadline, do not trust them. We're going to see Fandom 2022. Most likely in October. We'll start hearing some rumbling of it soon. And I think that's why he rushed to get Dan Lin in there.
Yeah, I think I am at the DC Fandom official site right now.
Yeah, what are you seeing?
So far, there are no dates.
Yeah, see, they've made no announcements, but I'm telling you, this is why they got Dan Lin in there so quick.
Yeah, so
because they know fandoms. Yep, for Fandom. We have to have a Fandom, and we got to get that announcement about Henry Cavill. We got to. Again, fans deserve it.
They have to basically start working on changing the narrative because I will say this. The way this website is, this is all stuff from the previous groups of people that have now been fired. You're going to have to redesign a lot of this and refocus people to what is going on. And a good example of that is this HBO Max ad that they have on the Fandom page. Notice who they're emphasizing now in this ad versus the way these ads were just 6 months ago.
Who is it? You're looking at it. We can't see it.
It's Dick Grayson, Harley Quinn, Henry Cavill, of course, Momoa, Ben Affleck. I mean, this is basically back to the way it was. This is part of the integrated design of the new DC going forward, because what they had before was anti-Snyder. You did not see Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill in a lot of their advertisements. Now they're back, and you're going to be seeing more quote-unquote changes. So this website's going to have to change, and they're going to use this as an opportunity. See, this website, the way it is right now, is predicated on stuff they had this past year. The big Supergirl goodbye, and all that stuff. Yeah, this is all from last year. This is all the Batman-centric. You don't see anything about Super Pets on here. You don't see... This is not even really that up to date. So, yeah, they're going to need to change this. Yeah, here's the poster at the very end near their fat cues.
You're not sharing.
Oh,
we can't see what you're talking about.
Hold on.
I'll do it on my screen or something. Somebody needs to share. You're describing things and they're not seeing it.
Okay, hold on.
There we go.
This poster right here is for 10/16/2021. And so all of this stuff is old. I mean, you know, for a movie that's already out, the Batman, a lot of the cosplay, super fan art. Yeah, a lot of this is from that last year's DC Fandom. A lot of these images that you have here.
Oh, I love the down below. It's got the canceled Supergirl on Super Family fan art.
Mm-hmm. Naomi's canceled. Wow. Supergirl's canceled. I mean, this is yeah.
This is not updated. So clearly, this is something that they're going to have to deal with Dan Lin. And I'm telling you, Dan Lin probably started on day one running. There was no... this is the coffee room. This is where this is our pre-meeting meeting room. This is our meeting room. And this is our post-meeting room. This is Lyle. He's our donut guy. You know, none of that for Dan Lin. It was, this is what you have to do. Save us. He's like he's like an emergency room surgeon trying to reattach a limb. You know,
we got to get this company back up and running. We can't act like we're in a van down by the river.
Living in a van down by the river. Pat S. I'd rather stay home and play with my superpower re-release, like true DC fan. Yeah, there you go.
I'm telling you, if they could make a deal to get McFarlane to run DC Comics for a bit, I'd return. I'd start buying up a lot of DC Comics, anything that he was actually involved with.
He knows how to sell comics. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And that Superpowers re-release toy stuff that he's got, those retro toys, they do look nice.
I'm sorry, I'm reading. I heard earlier there was a fandom this year, or no fandom. I think that would be a huge mistake.
It would be, but I mean, there's not much we can
do. They
do.
have to reconnect with the fans somehow.
I would put together a special, is what I would do. I would
just a quick special with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, because you know Ben's back. Ben's back. I would have those two, Dan Lin. I would have a few of the. I would have some of the major names that they know that they've already got for a lot of their movies and television shows that are still on the air. On top of the fact that, let's see, they're going to have Titans for at least one more year. Doom Patrol has new episodes coming out. So I'd go ahead and do a joint thing with the cast from both of those. And then I'd also build it around the end of The Flash. 13 more episodes and they're done, which means let's have a huge celebration and say goodbye to Grant Gustin and the cast of The Flash.
That would be a really nice thing to do because even though Greg Berlanti fucked that show up, they deserve a proper farewell.
Well, yeah. I mean, they gave it to Supergirl last year. I mean, they allowed the Supergirl cast to say goodbye. I think the least they could do is allow the Flash cast the same thing.
And the Flash was a better show. So.
Oh God, yes.
Titans should be canceled. I think that it's, and I do believe it was canceled, wasn't it, Keith? That was on the list of shows that got canceled.
It wasn't on the list, but it guess
wasn't.
What? It looks like they're going to give both Doom Patrol and Titans one more season, so that's fine.
Doom Patrol deserves it because it's a good show.
Oh gosh, yes,
very entertaining.
Oh,
I laugh my butt off so often at that show. Fucking Brendan Fraser's so great as Robot Man.
Hey Bill, you realize that there's no real truth in any of that because
yeah, Bill, there was never going to be a Star Trek 4. They keep doing this. They don't have the money for it,
and they don't have the cast. That's the other thing.
They don't have that cast. That cast is not. They're fucking spread out. The only person they're going to get at the same rate or possibly less is Zachary Quinto, because Quinto's only show, I think it got canceled. It's unceremonious. I never heard another thing about In Search Of. I enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
But Quinto has nothing. While Chris Pine and Zoe are fucking stars now.
Along with Carl Urban also because of The Boys. Yeah. All three of them are expensive, right? More and that's a more expensive cast than even the last time around.
Yeah.
Remember, you're talking a minimum $273 million will have to be spent in order to get
until you start hearing the actors saying something, and it'll usually occur before a major announcement. You hear the actors going, "Yeah, we're in talks." You're not getting any of that. They're doing the same thing. This is a J.J. Kurtzman tactic of throwing the feelers out. Let's make a fake announcement. And on top of that, the other reason they're doing it is to see if they can get any investors.
Yeah,
because
that's a big one.
They have to get investors to be able to shoot the film because they don't have the money themselves to do it. It's too expensive.
And that's what Brian Robbins is pissed about, being the head of Paramount. Why are you having to, quote unquote, search for investors? This is Star Trek. And the fact that you have to go out and try to find investors.
Because you lost investors? Are you saying you lost investors? You lost interest from investors to invest into one of the greatest franchises in the history of television and film? Really? J.J. Abrams, Alex Kurtzman, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's give it up for him.
Killers of a franchise.
Because he did such a bang-up job with Star Wars, huh?
They murdered a franchise.
Wow. I mean, come on, people. I could do better than JJ and not charge you as much. You bring me in, I think I could get that movie made. Because I've heard of terms like bottleneck show, which is what I would do with Star Trek. I would get all those actors. I'd go ahead and spend the $273 million and do a major bottleneck ship in a bottle, I should say, series. Movie and do it that way.
Chris Hemsworth will not. That is such a fucking bad idea.
Well, that's okay.
On a mountain of bad ideas. The only thing that if they bring him back, they need to basically fix what they fucked by creating the
timeline.
Their Kurtzman Abrams timeline. And fix it, have that shit not happen, and go back. Now, what I've suggested plenty of times over the years is to do an updated animated film series or TV series of the original crew finishing their
5-year
missions.
Yeah.
And because even though technically they got their 5-year mission with 2 animated seasons of Star Trek. But they should do a whole new 5-year mission and have that same crew go out before Star Trek: The Motion Picture takes place.
Well, they're not going to do that. What I heard is that part of the reason why they're talking about Star Trek 4 a lot more is that they were able to get Kurtzman to agree because they're going to try to tie in the Kelvin to the Kurtzman timeline. That's what they're going to do, which means
it's the same fucking timeline.
That's what you and I say, but they don't say that. But here's the thing. That means what you're going to get is you're going to get the Kelvin crew meeting your favorite, the Discovery crew.
Yeah.
Kurtzman actually believes you want to see this.
That just fucking frustrates me hearing something like that.
That way we can have Mikey Spock try to Mikey-splain Captain James T. Kirk.
Yeah, that's like I'm sorry, that's just so fucking dumb. If they really think that, just shows how fucking stupid they are. Now going back to like what I was saying, which is I even suggested at one time taking those original animated TV shows and reanimating them with CG and re-releasing them. Involve the original production company, Fleischman and those guys, and they're the people who eventually worked on He-Man, same company.
Yeah.
Go back and Filmation, go back and have them directly involved, but CBS Paramount oversee the animation so it's good, and have the actors done in 3D, make it very realistic, but not overly realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to remember that it is animated. I think that would be fucking fun.
Yeah. Look, there's so much you could do with Star Trek. I'm serious. There's so much.
Hi, La Adelita.
Hi.
¿Qué tal?
How are you? Hey, would she like to come back on the show? Would you like to come back on?
I wasn't here, so I don't know.
Oh, she's all kinds of cool.
Strange New Worlds had one really good episode, a second pretty okay episode, and the rest was, you know, it's as Patrick Stewart said on Saturday Night Live, if it's not Scottish, it's crap. You know, basically, I would say that each episode had little kernels of good stuff in it, but then you pull away and you see, oh, those corn kernels are in a giant fucking turd. That's how I feel about Strange New Worlds. Nice try, but go back to the drawing board and fucking fix it. Stop being stupid. Also, explain that that's not a real fireplace, that it's holographic. I mean, people were so fucking bent over. I said, clearly it's not a real fucking fireplace. It's always going. It's a hologram. It wouldn't have a real fucking fireplace. Also, his fucking cabin is too big.
It's way too big. That's a small New York apartment.
Yeah. That's a penthouse apartment, my friend. Out of Green Acres.
I mean, he's got so much room in there. I think he's hiding a family. I think he's sharing that with a couple of crewmen and their families.
What I want to do is introduce the character from No Country for Old Men, or Country for No Old Men, or whatever that movie is called. The guy walking around with that little ball peen fucking thing. I want to introduce him to Alex Kurtzman. Yeah. Hey, Alex, I got a pneumatic tool out here to show you. You'll like it. Hey, Alex. It's a hydraulic frontal lobotomy.
Wow. I don't know what happened to him, but his writing has improved.
There's no such thing as too damaged. Everything can be nursed back to health. Star Wars, Star Trek, but in the current state, I'm done with both of them. I don't think I even want to watch the new Mandalorian because I don't trust Kathleen Kennedy to not fuck with it.
Oh, she will.
And fuck with Favreau. She hates Favreau. Favreau hates her.
And she continues to do it. She is going to push him out.
That movie, yes. New Bump, that's the one right there. That one, No Country for Old Men. That guy with the fucking ball. You know, my God, that little hammer. But, hey, I'm going to flip a coin. Heads, you live. Tails, I'm going to hit you with my little hammer. Yeah, fuck KK. Fuck her and the horse she rode in on, which is like, no, I feel bad because the horse she rode in on was George Lucas. Fuck her and her fucking cronies, the Star Wars writers group. Fuck them all. But now Robert Meyer Burnett said he saw. No. We've seen that, Sock. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I said that Alex Kurtzman threatened to Alex Kurtzman season 3.
Yeah. The final.
And that's when I brought up the whole audit.
Yeah.
Because that guy, I forget his name again, from Paramount, called his bluff and says, okay, we'll do an audit on you and J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
You do that. You bring what you do, because if he does his audit, again, I'm going to tell you guys, because apparently you missed that when I said it earlier. If they do an audit on him and they're found in the negative, which they will be sued, and they will owe that money back to the studio. And that's why they're terrified of it, because that's a lot of fucking money. He thought he was so smart, because Sherry Redstone, I think that was the greatest heartbreak for you and me, that Sherry Redstone didn't do what she should have done.
Yeah.
In firing Kurtzman.
Yep.
She was wanting to come in and do the reunification. Great line from Star Trek. Best 2-part episode of Next Generation outside of Best of Both Worlds. You know, and you've got this great fucking lady wanting to reunify Star Trek, bring it back to 100%, not 25% or 20% different. She wanted to bring it all back together again because she felt it was a mistake when Les Moonves and her dad broke it up.
Yeah.
Back in 2005. And then she ran into that contract with Alex Kurtzman from Les Moonves, his last fuck you to Sherry Redstone, CBS, and Paramount. He gave him an ironclad contract that would make him a billionaire if they fired him. And now what have they done? They still made him rich.
Yeah.
And look how much money they've lost. You know, this is my problem with people who are afraid to pull up Band-Aids. Hey, D-Bud, see you later, buddy. See you tomorrow morning. Yeah, bud. Don't forget, I think, I'm doing that 70s rock fan show tonight. We're going to be doing punk and metal, or punk and hard rock. So didn't Jason Momoa confirm the Snyder Cut in an interview? So there's an example of an actor confirming. Well, that's what I'm talking about. When you see actors talking about things, that's when you can believe Star Trek's coming. When you hear the actors say something, and even though they won't probably not confirm because they will be told not to, but they will say something like, yeah, we've been talking with Kurtzman. There'll be communications, scripts. We've heard about scripts going. When you hear that, that's when you go, oh, you should prick up your ears and go, well, there now might be a movie. This shit is just the typical thing, the feelers that JJ fucking throws out. JJ's behind this. He knows that he's gonna, because his contract runs out. When does it run out? Keith, when does his contract end? Was it a 10-year contract? I don't think he's there. I think it was a 10-year contract that could be renewed if they were doing well and making things. So, yeah, I love Star Trek, Brandon. I'm a Trekkie, not a Trekker. I'm a Trekkie. Absolutely.
I think, look, there's a lot of different ways that Star Trek could really be brought back. But what you're going to need is...
Oh, you didn't hear my question. You're away.
Yeah.
I was asking how long JJ's contract was for. Was it a 10-year contract? I can't remember.
With Star Trek or with Warner?
Was it open-ended? With Star Trek.
With Star Trek, that's a good question. I think it's more open-ended, although I think there is going to be a time limit on it because of how frustrating it's been for him to get anything going. I mean, he's trying.
Well, that's just it. That's why I think this keeps happening is because of the fear of losing that contract, and so he throws out these fake news stories. we're Star Trek 4. Oh, we lost they lost their director because there's no fucking film.
Yeah.
And once the director realizes that, he goes, I'm not going to be a party to this, and they leave.
Yeah, nobody wants to operate under either Abrams or Kurtzman, because Abrams will let you do whatever. At this point, Abrams will let anybody direct a Star Trek movie. Is where he's at. Kurtzman wants you to play with the characters that he created, so that I'm smart. I can do Trek. I'm smart. I can do Trek. I'm smart. Aren't I, JJ? I'm smart. It's like, no, you're not. Kurtzman needs help. I don't think he's going to easily give this up. And when you look at what he's done, I mean, his career is just, it's horrid.
Yeah, here we go. Cast of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek 4 didn't even know there was a new movie being announced. No announcement's going to come before the cast isn't fucking locked down. So
they at least
J.J. is such a fucking huckster. He really is.
He tries so hard. He does.
He is really a huckster. He really is. He comes in like locust and devours everything, gives you nothing of value, and walks away with the biggest fucking paydays.
Yep. So anybody that's still kind of, excited about his animated Batman series, realize this is where we're headed. I guarantee you that Batman animated series is going to be as woke can be. They're going to reimagine all of his characters.
Now, what do they call it? What do they call it, Keith, by the way, when you're an investment company and you start taking investments on something that doesn't exist, and you begin paying off other investors with the new investments that are coming in? What's that called? Because somebody went to prison for that. I think his name was Bernie. What is that called?
It's kind of a scheme and a shape. Is it a no, wait a minute. Rectangle.
Ponzi scheme.
There we go.
Ponzi scheme. That's it. That's what J.J. Abrams does with his multi-contracts. And he doesn't leave anything. He is, in my words, if you were to find a way to make it criminal, what he does, and they should make it criminal, what he does. He makes promises. His mouth signs checks that his ass can't keep. He's just the biggest fucking huckster. He's a phony. You're a phony. From Family Guy. You're a big fat phony. That's J.J. Abrams. He's a phony,
and he didn't care.
At one time, he had something, but now he doesn't. He doesn't have anything. His Spider-Man comic with his kid, nobody fucking even talked about it when it came out. It was terrible. He is just, yes, Ponzi scheme. Thank you. I got it already though, buddy.
I think more people talked about.
Once again, welcome Darius Munchausen, the one Munchausen that won't fucking cause somebody to die unless he murders somebody. You wouldn't murder anybody, would you, Darius?
I think more people talked about Snowflake and Safe Space than his version, J.J. Abrams' version of Spider-Man. Repeat, Spider-Man, okay? Spider-Man.
So all I got to say is we need a DC fandom this year. The fans need it. We deserve it after the shit that's been going on. I'm hoping somebody has said that to Zaslav, that the fans need to hear from us. We need to do something. They need to speak out and say something about what's going on. We need our fucking confirmation in a very public way that Cavill's back. Not these fucking press thing. I mean, we don't even get an official press release. All we've gotten is scoops that are confirmed. Scoop confirmed. He's been shooting. Nothing. We need that kind of confirmation. And we need confirmation from DC, Dan Lin, that this is going the right way, and we need to see where he's planning to take it. They brought him in, and he jumped out of that plane running. He had to go. He had to go right away.
Yeah, there was no waiting.
Yeah, there was no orientation. It was get to fucking work now. So I don't know what we're going to see. I really don't. I have zero faith in Kevin Feige anymore. Fuck him and fuck Victoria Alonso and fuck Bob Chapek. All three of them. They need to go. All three of them need to fucking go. I'm sick to death of Marvel and the shit they're doing. Oh, we'll put this one out, and then you go, oh, it didn't suck. But the problem is we're going, oh, it didn't suck. We're saying that. You understand that? We're getting excited because it didn't suck. Oh, you got to go? I'll see you later, buddy.
Bye.
So when fans become desensitized to it sucking, you got a problem. And too many fans placate and are becoming desensitized to Disney, Marvel sucking because of Phase 5.
Well,
it started with Infinity War.
When you have when you have comic books that are pretty much predicated on who's sleeping with whom, it's comic books, people. It's the Avengers. It's the Fantastic Four. Why should we be worried about who's sleeping with whom? Seriously.
It's going to be UFO based, Bill. It's going to have. I'm going to talk to Don today about it and see what he wants to talk about. That's if he can be on. I'm hoping he can. William Friedkin works with Kiefer Sutherland in Kane Mutiny Court Martial Deadline.
That sounds good.
That's a movie. I love the play. And I get, once again, this is something Keith and I, we keep telling people, it's not a remake of a film. It's a readaptation of a play.
That's right.
When you have remakes of stories that are based on other properties, it's not a remake. It's a readaptation.
Every time somebody does Henry V on stage, it's not a remake. It's just another adaptation.
Hola.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hello, Adelita.
Hi.
One of our
Shut up,
favorite
Martin.
Oh,
teachers.
well, thank you.
You've earned it.
Thanks. I hope so. Either that or I've just fucked up a whole bunch of kids, but
Hey, it's not the first time that's happened.
Right. So at least I'm doing better than subpar.
Bye, Lauren. Lauren's going to work.
Bye, Lauren.
Everybody said bye. So,
Bye, Lauren.
yeah, I'm finally meeting you. So this is my first time meeting you. You're clearly a Wonder Woman girl.
Yes.
And you like Mohawk unicorn?
Yes.
Mohawk unicorn?
I like all unicorns. And
Do I
that's
see Batman up there? What do I see up on your wall there?
I have some different colored animal plushies.
Oh, that's not a Batman symbol. That's something else. That's an owl or something.
It's all good.
Where?
It's all good.
You got a sugar skull.
Yes.
That was my favorite breakfast cereal as a kid. Just kidding.
Yeah.
There was no such cereal.
I don't know. They make a whole bunch of different ones now, but
welcome to Sugar Frosted Sugar Skulls.
Exactly.
You know what? I know people that would go for that.
I would go for that.
Marshall, fuck you, man. I love you, buddy, but I will be who I am.
Okay, I can hold my own.
I can't help who I am. I am who I am. Brandon's here too. Look at this. Oh my God.
Hola, mi amigos and amigas, compadres. Let me spread the good news of how Alex Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams will burn in hell for all eternity. There is a separate circle of hell specific for those two bastards. Now that I have said that, and I've got Keith rolling on the floor, yeah, this topic is a very sore topic for me because out of all the different fandoms and all the things that I have been a part of for a long time, Star Trek is the first one. That was the show. That was the movies that my grandfather showed me when I was, 5, 6, 7 years old.
You had a great grandfather there.
Yeah, you know what?
Cliffhanger. That was a cliffhanger. Next week on Pop Culture Minefield.
Did Kurtzman get him?
No, he says device is not connected. I'm looking at his screen right now. He just got disconnected somehow on his end. Yeah, he's going to say something. This rant brought to you by Brandon, the anime guy.
Hey, Bill. Yeah, it was.
Morning, Mighty Max.
That was put out by J.J. Abrams and his people because they knew they were in trouble when they were in the middle of production of their third film. And so they floated that out there to get a lot of interest from potential investors.
Yeah, that was the first time it got floated out. And what's funny is not this time, but the previous time, earlier this year, they floated it out. They didn't even bother rewriting it. They sent out the exact same press release that they sent out previously. It's such a bullshit tactic on their part. It really is.
Now,
the only thing more gay than J.J. Abrams doing that is me having sex with another man. And that's gay.
That was a very bad point for me to come back in. That sounded so gay,
what the
Gary.
fuck,
Seriously.
dude? Step in.
I don't know.
Fucking.
I don't know what the hell's going on with my computer. My computer's being a bitch today. So, but I think it's probably just glitching out because
I think it's because you're a misogynist for female computers.
Oh, possibly, maybe. But anyways, back to my.
Your rant.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? His shit's shot again, and he's sitting down in the lower window right now. I'm looking at it, says device is not connected. Nope, there he is. Add him back.
Son of a bitch. Okay. My grandfather, back in the 60s, bought one of the first color TVs sold in our area. Specifically,
let's not get racist here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but black and white was fine. It's all good and dandy, but when you have NBC that first season shooting everything in color, he had to have a color TV. And one of the first shows that he watched with it was Star Trek. He loved the original Star Trek. That was one of his things for escapism. Besides, you had all the westerns at the time, and a lot of them were great, but it was Star Trek that really stuck with him. And as I said, growing up as a kid, we would rent the movies, we'd watch them. Watch the TV series as often as possible. I remember catching it in reruns back in the 80s, as a kid, and it was different. And it really didn't start to stick with me or come home to me until the Next Generation started in the 90s. And I had a lot more respect for it then than I do now. If you look at all the series and how have they aged, that one, in my opinion, has aged the worst. Even if you take out all the crap that's been done with the Puke Hard Season 1 and Puke Even Harder Season 2, it still hasn't aged nearly as well as Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine is right up there with the original series for perfection. Even though a lot of the people that worked on that show are woke as hell, they openly admit they're woke as hell, they at that time, they pushed the boundaries, but they didn't push it to the point where they were trying to shove it down our throats or cut off our heads and shit down our neck.
Which is important.
Which is very important because it's better to have live audience as opposed to a dead audience. Now, Voyager, I didn't care for, and I have only seen the first season all the way through, and I've actually done it twice, and I just can't get past it. So I won't say anything else about that. But I did watch Enterprise, and even though they've got some continuity problems, I still prefer it over the other. Let's see, the third season, I thought having it be serialized like it was, following in the footsteps of DS9, and taking a whole entire season to do a story arc was great. And yes, had they allowed it to continue past that fourth season, it probably would have been up there to rival with the original series, and it possibly could have surpassed DS9. It really could have. But the powers that be at Paramount at that point,
it wasn't Paramount. It was the head of CBS. What was that guy's name? Oh yeah, Moonves.
Les
Les
Moonves, who
Moonves,
hates
that-
science fiction.
He canceled it.
That fucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he broke his word. He broke his word when he did it. But I got to tell you before we go, because it's an hour and a half, and I need to wrap up here.
You're out of coffee.
Yeah, I finished my coffee a while ago.
I've got just a tiny little bit left of my. I don't drink coffee very often. It gives me stomach problems, and technically I'm not supposed to have it. But when I do, it has to have a crap ton of cream, a crap ton of the pink packets, and a little bit of hazelnut to flavoring to help smooth it over.
Nutty.
I know I foo-foo the shit out of it, but you know what?
No, I'm laughing at him going nutty. It's like,
Austin, that is shit.
That
I thought it was
just like that. Really does taste like the corner hobo's nuts. It's so delicious. It's so nutty, smegmatic.
Yeah.
But Lada Alita, I'm so sorry. I'd like to have you on longer. Feel free to join us tomorrow at the start. Stick around for the whole show. But I will add you. Are you on Twitter?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to add you to our group. So remind me,
There you
Martin.
go.
Don't let me forget. New season of Archer.
Remind you of what?
To add Lara Aralita to our group.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was watching the chat.
You're watching something else. I know. Watching.
Let me
another
see if
channel.
I can pronounce this right.
You
La
whore.
Adalita. Okay.
All the
I've been trying.
Hispanics can pronounce it correctly. Like I don't know what's going on with these gringos, but
Well, I'm as white. I'm whiter than Gerry, and yeah.
And I have Hispanics in my family, so fuck
so you have
all.
zero excuse.
Well, I don't have
no
any
excuse.
Hispanics in my family.
My brother
anymore.
spoke fluent Spanish, and he had he did the accent and everything just perfectly when he would speak it. And but then again, my brother also was forced to do that because he owned a landscaping business and he hired guys from Home Depot. And,
so he kind of had to figure it out.
So, well, from a young age, because he started doing his contracting at 18.
Wow.
And so he just became fluent. And then, of course, we have members of the family. Like I've told Keith this story. It was really horrible when it first happened. I'm sitting there and I walked into the house for dinner at my niece's in Phoenix and got all excited about having dinner there. And I walked in and I saw her husband's work truck. And on the back of his truck was a Che Guevara sticker. And I went, oh, fuck. And so I get in the house and she's introducing me to, him and says, oh, and Uncle Gerry was in Honduras because that's where he's from. He goes, oh, really? What were you doing there? And I said, fighting commies. And I knew I scored points with him. He does like me, though. We like each other a lot. But that was a funny, awkward moment. Like, I can't sugarcoat this. I'm just going to flat out say what we were doing there. I was protecting a road crew. My unit was protecting a road crew. American construction company was building a highway in Honduras.
Did you send him one of your
outside
t-shirts?
Tegucigalpa? What?
Did you send him one of your F. Che t-shirts?
No, I will never fucking share that with him. Although I might jokingly wear it around him like during Christmas or something if I go to Christmas party again.
There you go.
Fuck Che. If you've never seen it, it's great. David Stansfield that did Tremendicon. He was one of the first people to buy that shirt from me. A big, bright red shirt to match the sticker. And it's got Snake Plissken with the eye patch looking the same way Che Guevara looks. And then in stencil lettering, it says, fuck Che. I always thought that was funny. But anyway, we've got to end the show, so I'm going to do my thank yous to everybody. Glad everybody showed up. Thanks for popping in and out and in and out and in and out, Anime Guy. It was almost like you were having sex with our show. Almost.
Oh my god.
That's probably a bit much for you there, Backdoor Gerry. But
you know what? I got to tell you, I think you're kind of tiny because I didn't feel anything.
Well, I appreciate you letting me come on
just
and
like
rant
wind.
for just a bit.
It's just like wind. Well, I love you, but I'm glad you dropped in.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, Star Trek is one
Cavitino
of my
Cavalry
loves.
Chase says, "What the fuck, Gary?" It wasn't "fuck you, dude." It was a different Che. Che Guevara, not you. Martin, of course, for being my right side of my brain. Thank you for being here, my friend. Keith, my partner in crime. Brandon, thank you again. And La Adelita, thank you so much for showing up. And with that, I'm going to thank everybody. Anima Confusa, thank you. Das Wolfen, D. Bud Martin, Marshall, Aaron Ratliff, and thanks for threatening me, Marshall. Aaron Ratliff, Brandon the anime. He told me to be nice to you.
Yeah, you better.
She could take. She's fine. She'll kick my ass. Jacob the critic, Lauren Worth, who of course was here and said bye. Penny J, aka Dork Knight's mom. Socks Bulletins, War Monkey, Wolverine 626, Christopher Moonlight Productions, my buddy Chris. Willie the Epic Monkey King. We have another monkey? What the fuck?
That means we have
too many monkeys.
We have 3 fucking monkeys now?
We only need
Holy
one more,
shit.
and then it's hey level.
It's almost too many monkeys. Man, too many monkeys. You end up with Planet of the Apes, for Christ's sake.
You let it start throwing shit at you.
No, look, I've seen that happen. I have seen that happen.
Monkey, Gerry.
I'll tell you what.
Monkey.
Fourth
I am the
monkey.
third.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm trained monkey.
Man, there's nothing worse. When I was a kid at a zoo, fucking monkey just whacking off. And I'm like, what is he doing? My dad's like, let's go. He grabbed me like, let's go. I'm like, why is he doing that?
Damn monkey spanks.
Fuck. They're nasty animals, man. Marcos A, Stephanie Beatty, Latino Slant, Polly, Monkey Jeebus. Yeah, I know. They're going to cancel me one day for doing that. I don't care. You can only cancel people who give a shit. Cameron Vale was here. Stone Pie Media, Brightest Day. Just Another Red Shirt dropped in. Dude.
Yeah, he was here.
I'd have loved to have grabbed him. Now we're into the show. Red Shirt, dude. Show up tomorrow morning, man. I'll send you an invite. You need to join us. Darius Munchausen, who is the single safest version of Munchausen. New Bum Turk, Pat S., our good friend and a producer on our channel. Martin Oh, that's a message. That's not a name. Fuck you, Martin. I cannot. Or who sent that? Keith sent that. Fuck you, Keith. You're breaking up my rhythm, man. Yo, man. Yo. Hold on. Let me do something here real quick. Edit avatar. There we go. Done there. Now go. Yo, man. That shit ain't funny, man. This is digital blackface. Hi, Keith's mom. He loved you. And with that said, black ass. Pacific 414. That was an excellent next name to have to fall on to, right? As Anime Guy says, damn it. Then Anime Guy says, BRB. Anime Guy says, my fucking web browser being a bitch. And then he says, fuck. Okay. Mighty Max.
I did. I said all those things.
And of course, last to join right when I was talking shit about Che Guevara is Cavitino Calverman Che, one of my favorite fellow veterans. I salute you, my brother. With that, everybody, thanks for. What is that, Brandon?
Oh, this was what I was wanting to come and talk on originally about before I.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Star Trek rant.
Yeah, let's get into this tomorrow.
Well, I'm going to be out of town tomorrow. I gotta go to Boise to pick up.
I swear to God,
a
you are
desk.
just a fucking pain in the ass. I swear to God.
You take care of yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
drive careful and all that. Then don't be on the show.
Well, I'm gonna say Wednesday is a good day to talk about your boy Ming.
UFO. Yeah, that's UFO day. I'll
UFO
have Don
day?
Ecker on.
Thursday.
Thursday. Also named after Thor.
Thursday. Yes.
It's Thursday. Thursday, as they would say, Thursday. So I want to thank everybody for being here. It was a great show. I had fun. It was a fun show today. despite the little lag we had here and here, and animated guy, like, I don't know how that timed more perfectly then. And then, let me tell you, and you're gone.
Exactly. But then I think of Star Trek and I go,
exactly. And you never, because there are ways that this works. And one of those things is like where and this is a great moment of when this can happen perfectly, is like asking Brandon right now, the single most important thing is, what are we going to talk about on Thursday?
We are going to talk about a
Brandon did not see it coming. Everybody else knew it. Not Brandon.
Not me.
I'll talk about House of Dragons tomorrow. You too, buddy. You stay healthy. All of you, take care of yourselves.